No, I wanted to give you another example because I actually was talking to my dad the other day and he brought this up. So I checked it out because he brought it up because it's one of the statistics that he had in the biggest con. And so I checked it out and it was right. And so in 1947, the average American who didn't work on a farm, non-farm, because farm labor is always low price. So non-farm, if you had a job in America and you didn't work on a farm in 1947, the average pay was $50 a week. Right? Today, the average pay for a non-farm worker is $830 a week. Now, most people say, oh, gee, that's a lot of progress, right? It's gone from $50 a week to $830 a week. Well, let's take a look at it in terms of gold, in terms of real money. Because when you worked in 1947 and you were paid $50 a week, you got gold because gold, it was $35 an ounce, right? You were getting paid in dollars, $35 an ounce. So you got, what about an ounce and a half of gold? If not quite 50 divided by 35, you got 1.43 ounces of gold. Well, at $1,350 an ounce, to get 1.35 ounces of gold, right, you're going to have to earn over $1,900 dollars a week, right? Not $830 a week. And what you got to really realize is that if somebody earned $50 a week back in 1947, right, they really didn't pay much in the way of taxes, right? Taxes, you know, if you had 2 or 3 kids, which most families did, between your itemized deduction and your standard deduction, you had no tax. You didn't pay any taxes. So I would say that in order to have the same after-tax income as the average guy did in 1947, you would have to earn at least, let's say, $140,000 a year today. Instead, the average non-farm worker is getting $43,000 a year. So $43,000 a year in 2013 versus $140,000 a year in 1947. $140,000. Now, of course, the average guy who's earning the $830 a week today, or $43,000 a year, he's probably got a college degree. Probably at least half of those guys have a college degree. Back in 1947, maybe 10% at best of the people who were earning the equivalent of $140,000 a year had college degrees, right? And probably all of the people, or almost all the people today, have at least a high school degree. I would say that maybe half, or maybe at that, back in 1947, even had high school degrees, yet they still earned the equivalent of $140,000 a year. So if you want to know, you know, you're wondering, how is it possible that a guy, you know, without a high school diploma could have a wife and 5 kids and support the family without the wife working, feed all the kids, clothe all the kids, pay the rent, pay the mortgage? How is it possible that the average guy could do that in 1947, but he can't do it today? Well, it's because the average guy was earning 3 times as much, more than 3 times as much in 1947 as he does in 2014. And that's despite all of the technology that we have today, all of the labor-saving devices, all of the things that have made us more productive. So all else being equal, somebody today, the average non-farm worker today, should be more productive and earning more than his 1947 counterpart. So the average guy shouldn't be earning $140,000 a year. Maybe he should be earning $200,000 a year instead of the $43,000 that he does earn. Why? What changed? What changed between 1947 and now to reduce the productivity of the average American worker to such an extent? It's government. That's what's changed. It's the amount of government. Government has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And as a result, the economy has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller. Our standard of living has gone down. We have to work a lot harder to achieve a lot less. Despite all the machines that should have made us more productive, big government made us less productive. And that's why that is the real truth. So as you strip it out, right, you look at real money in terms of gold, forget about the funny money. Yes, we earn more dollars, but so what? Because those dollars have lost their value. If you look at real money, what Americans were paid in 1947 between today, it has collapsed. And that's why Americans can't get ahead. That's why everybody's wife is working. That's why nobody has any savings. That's why people are having smaller families, because they're broke, because they're taxed to death to support this gargantuan federal government.